Okay, I wanted to talk about exiting the matrix, 3D, 4D, 5D, and beyond, and then the differences in navigation as well as business marketing, goals, aspirations, how those kind of shift, because it's a very different thing being in 3D and being in 5D and how you navigate the world. Okay, so first, I want to get into what the matrix is. So the matrix is a false construct reality based on a finite system. Okay, so basically, anything that fits into the matrix is basically programmed into you to get you to believe in a finite reality that isn't real. Okay, it basically constricts your thinking to paths, rules, patterns that keep you in alignment with the reversal fields. Okay, so what are the reversal fields? The reversal fields are the negatively polarized energies that point to the false God source. So if you watched my video, The Cosmology and the Inverted Universe, I go into the cosmic energies, and then I explain how the universe basically inverted and everything flipped, and so there was a negatively polarized universe, and that's what we're coming out of now. That's the shift. Okay, so what a lot of programs, patterns, structures, systems that are in the matrix, they are oriented to keep people moving towards the false God source. And what false God source is essentially hell or Satan, the really negatively polarized energies. Okay, and that's what's been worshipped in confusion, thinking that it was actually God. Okay, but what it is really just a false realm that is very, very separated from source. Okay, it's the furthest, if time and space actually existed, it would be the furthest from God that is possible. Okay, and so what we're coming out of now is, once you exit the matrix, you realize that those systems were basically programming you to walk down a path that is not in your highest good, and that actually isn't organic, because people are organically pulled to true God and true source. So it works better if you look at the drawings I've done and can understand that false God reality is just this finite construct that really it doesn't have any power, except there's this magnetic pull there because of the reversal fields. Okay, so the matrix is structured to keep you moving towards the reversal fields. It keeps you in the finite reality. It keeps you out of your spiritual presence and spiritual power. It basically programs you to believe that you're a finite being in a finite world with finite resources. Okay, and the matrix you can see like a box. Okay, with structured lines, and these are your paths. That's it. Okay, and you get to an edge, you have to go back, you have to go another way, stop, because that's all there is. Okay, that's 3D. 4D, you begin to explore that landscape more openly, and you start going into the hidden corners. Okay, you can start moving beyond the box. You start thinking beyond the box and beyond the constructs and beyond the programs and beyond the patterns. Okay, when it comes down to the chakra system and the density ranges, third density, basically first density is the root, second density is the sacral, third is the solar plexus, fourth is the heart. So the reversal fields are programmed in the lower three chakras. Fourth density is when you open the heart. This is the gateway to the higher dimensions, okay, higher density ranges, higher spiritual reality. So once the heart's open, you can start expanding. Okay, that is 4D. 5D is the throat, 6D is the third eye, and 7D is the crown. Now in the 3D system, these are all very dense bands of the 7 rays, okay? Very separated. There's a lot of shifting bandwidth, so you can explore each density within yourself, a range of experiences, okay? But when you get to 5D, what happens is your energies start harmonizing and they start moving down into the physical body, and they take on a white gold sheen, and the throat, the blue, actually drops down to the root. That's the 5D energy system, okay? And how you get there is through healing and clearing karma and getting out of the reversal field, so you are no longer moving with the matrix into the negatively polarized or God, false God source, okay? You have broken free. You know where true God is. You've done your healing, cleared your karma, and harmonized your energy enough to be able to shift and then anchor into the 5D system, okay? So once you do that, you are able to, the way you navigate the world will have to change. And this is a hard change because we have been so programmed to be goal-oriented. Time to us is this line where you say 10 years down the line. That way, that's when I'll do this, and 1 month down the line, that's when I'll do this. I have an hour to get this done. Where in 5D and real time is a spiral that can be condensed, that can be expanded. 1 year or 5 years can be shortened or expanded. Your experience of time is very, very different, okay? But that also goes into the way you navigate, okay? Basically, what happens with the matrix here is that doesn't exist. That is no more. There is no more structure, no more patterns, no more rhythms. Not rhythms. There is no rhythms in 3D. It's blocks, you know. So all of a sudden, you break free of that, and you again have this way of navigating that's more like a dance, okay? You can go forward in time, backward in time. Everything you do is going to need to be done in the moment. Goals, you can set goals if that's something you want to do, but what the biggest shift is that you have to learn to navigate through your connection with your divine self. Okay, so once you're in the 5D, you should have fully anchored to your higher self, to divine, and to divine will. And why this is important is because in the moment, you choose the next moment. And this goes for 3D as well, but not so much, especially if you're really locked into that. You're not going to be able to navigate in this way, really. Okay, so let me see here. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so it basically comes down to, in the 5D, is having a really strong link with your higher self, with your divine self. And in the moment, in every moment, is when you choose the next timeline, the next path, the next decision, the next reality, okay? And you're choosing that every moment, in the moment. And you don't have, so in the 3D system, you can say, okay, I want to make $5,000 in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to do this, 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 and this. You can sell, you can manipulate, you can force your way into it, you can force people to buy your product, you can push through walls and barriers and get it done. And that will work in 3D, and there's not much consequences because there's a negatively polarized flow to energy. So it's actually rewarded in the 3D to do that. When you move into 5D, it is not rewarded anymore. It will push you back. Okay, so you can set goals, but what you need to do more so is focus on the emotions and the feelings and the realities that you want to experience, okay? And you focus on service to others and the benefit of all, okay? And then you set a goal or a manifestation, you write it out and you hand it over. And the divine will bring it back to you in the highest good. And the reason why you have to go that route is because in the 5D, your integrity is so important that you don't know how an action you have will, or a creation or a manifestation will react to the entire cosmos, whereas the universe and the cosmos, cosmic consciousness, will know. So I wanted to get into cosmic consciousness, true God source, and the finite reality or hell, Satan reality that is in the inverted universe, just so people have a perspective. And when I say cosmos, I'm talking about source, the higher density ranges, okay? From 8D, the universe is born, matter, okay? 7D through 1D is universe, it's the matter, it's material world, it's physical reality. Everything else is more ethereal, light, sound, ideas, consciousness, pure consciousness, okay? So the universe is 7D to 1D, and the inverted universe is that flipped, okay? So we have to basically navigate back through. So the cosmos is this huge, massive thing if space and time existed. Source is at the beginning, at the very center. God, source is at the very center. And so you have this, and you have this huge cosmic, higher density ranges, higher dimensions, and then you have the inverted universe over here, and the negative finite reality is like a point in that compared to the cosmic energy. So when I talk about cosmos, that's what I'm referring to, okay? So what the 3D system was built to do was to keep you out of your cosmic consciousness, because once you get there, there's nothing that tiny little point of finite reality can do to control you, to manipulate you, to keep you in the reversal fields, or keep you out of your natural divine self, okay? And that is their greatest fear. And that's why everything is pushing towards that negative polarity, okay? So what we're going through now is this massive shift in consciousness, where an entire collective of human beings can shift into the higher octave. This doesn't happen very often, especially an entire planetary collective, okay? So this is really rare. So once you get into 5D, you're aligned with true God source and light, and working with negatively polarized energies, force, manipulation, any form of manipulation will actually push you back into the reversal fields, and you'll be negatively polarized again. And a lot of people are not going to like me saying this, but there are gateways to move to higher dimensions, to higher octaves, and you can get kicked out of those. And the way you get kicked out of those is by getting out of alignment with integrity and with the greater good. Okay, so you go against basically unity, or the law of one. And when you do that, you can move back into 3D. And when I have seen that happen, it's usually a really quick thing where people go back, they learn their lesson, and they're back in 5D real quick. So it's not something to punish anyone. It's just you can't resonate in those fields if you're not in alignment, basically, and so you'll get pushed out. It's easy to get back though, because if you've already gotten there once, you know how to get there, and then you have to anchor, okay? So in the 5D system, I think I already went over this, but the 7 rays start to harmonize, and that's when the energy centers basically shift down. You ground into the blue, basically the throat chakra. So programs and paths, basically there's a lot of people out there that say there's this program that will bring you to success, and you do this, 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 and this, and you will have success, and here's the path for you, here's a spiritual path for you. It worked for me, it will work for you. None of that is valid in the 5D, because everything that you're going to need to do, you're going to need to access from your divine self. Okay, so what I do and what my specialty is helping people clear karma, clear their fields, shift into the 5D system, anchor into that, and then anchor to their higher selves, and then they define their path with the help of their higher selves, with that fully anchored and anchored into the true source or true God. Okay. These programs and paths that are definitive, structured, those are 3D matrix programs. Okay. The only way to navigate 5D is through what I call dancing with the universe. It is a dance. It is not a path. Okay, it's very different. It's a different way of navigating. So marketing and business is the same. Programs, you will find success with certain programs, and like I said, everyone's going to be different. So this isn't definitive for everyone, but again, you can't use manipulation. You need to use heart-centered unity, law of one, and spiritual influence to actually gain clients and move forward. And you have to have this really powerful trust in your divine self and the path, okay, to be able to do this and navigate this well, especially business-wise. So it's just a very different dynamic that requires people to be in alignment with their divine light, divine self, and you especially. And then in the moment, choosing the path, choosing through your intuitive guidance or divine guidance, what actions to take, where to go, what to work with, okay? And it takes a really strong connection with your divine self to do that. Goals versus heart-centered living. I kind of mentioned this before. Goal setting may or may not work. We're moving on a spiral now. So you want to set goals, that's fine, but you have to really be detached from the outcomes of them. And I know people hear this all the time, but this is a way of being in the world that's completely different, that needs to be anchored in and literally practiced, okay? It has to really come from the heart. All your steps, all your actions, all your movement really need to come from the heart. So my path has been really hard. I've gone through a lot of stuff, and I chose this path. I chose to go through everything I went through. I chose to do. I had a lot of success and did a lot of different things, and all of it was learning new skills, new talents, learning about myself, creativity, all these healing paths. I've had a lot of hardship with physical realities, physical issues, broke my back, had type 1 diabetes, had 4 fractures in my back, near-death experiences, overcome a lot of, alcoholism, eating disorders, weight issues, pretty much everything down the line, and dealt with the medical tyranny and the political scene, and basically have been outside of the matrix my whole life, and just through experiences. So what a lot of people have gone through in the last few years, I was experiencing this my whole life, so I had a different perspective. And I've always been outside of the box, looking in, being like, what is going on? and when is this going to shift? So right now we're seeing that breakthrough out of the box, and we're seeing a shift from that into the 5D as well. The 5D, there's only about 2,000 people on the planet that are really anchored into 5D, so it's not very big. We don't need, if you're called, this is where, this is the big opportunity. This is the big shift that you can move into. A lot of people have broken through the heart and into the higher gateways and out of the programs, okay? But the 5D, the inverted universe, all the programs of the reversal fields are cleared, okay? And that's the big shift. So I don't talk too much about my path and what I've been through, and I may start doing that, but part of why I'm here doing this is because I've been there. I've been through basically the trial and error of everything, getting to these higher frequency ranges and working with these higher energies. And that's why I'm doing this work, is because I've been there. I can help you through it. And it's not easy. Anyone that's there now knows that this is a challenging path, and it takes a lot of time and determination and focus and self-love and patience with yourself and patience with the world. But it is a huge reward to be able to shift out of that dense reality and really align and shift your energy. There's a huge physical reality shift when you do that. It feels completely different. And then even moving into 60, 70 energies, there's people beginning to embody 60 and moving into 70 as well. And that's like a whole nother video there. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was time, and how that was really different in the 5D system, and how navigating that is really different. So to summarize, start practicing a different way of navigating, a different way of putting yourself out in the world. Stop perceiving it as structured reality, and break free of the box and begin to dance in that space, to dance with your higher self, with your divine self, and allow that to pick and choose your path, and start refining that within and honing that connection. And that's really where we're going. And so that will help you to make that transition a lot smoother, as you break free of the constrictions, the programs and patterns of 3D, break into the heart space, move into 5D, into a coherence basically. Then you anchor in the divine self, and that paves your path, okay? So that's about it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a happy new year, and excited for this year to come. I think it will be, for a lot of people, really challenging, for a lot of people really enlightening. So sending so much love.